Warning from President Erdogan. We are at a serious and dangerous turning point, speaking at the Antalya Diplomacy Forum. President Erdogan noted that the international system is at a serious turning point and delivered important messages regarding the tragedy in Gaza, tensions in the Strait of Hormuz, and the Russia-Ukraine war. President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan spoke at the official opening ceremony of the Antalya Diplomacy Forum, thanking those who called to express their condolences following the tragic incident in Kahramanmaraş on Wednesday. Erdogan said, "May God spare everyone from such suffering," extending his congratulations to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which organizes the Antalya Diplomacy Forum, now a global brand, and to Antalya MP Mevlüt Çavuşoğlu. President Erdogan stated, "As Turkey, we do not confine the ADF to the concept of diplomatic contacts. We view it as a platform where in-depth consultations take place regarding the values around which humanity can unite. Today, diplomacy determines the principles within which humanity's shared future will take shape," he stated. "We are at a serious and dangerous threshold," noting that explaining the conditions in the international system solely through shifts in the balance of power would divert attention from the issue. President Erdogan said, "The distribution of power is changing. New actors are rising, and competition is intensifying. None of this alters the fact that we are facing a severe rupture. It is clear that we are at a serious and dangerous threshold. The rules-based system remains silent where rules are violated," he said. "A system that cannot protect babies in incubators is a structural collapse." President Erdogan emphasizing that looking at Gaza after October 7th is sufficient to understand the extent of the crisis, stated, "Over 70,000 people have lost their lives in Gaza, and the number of injured has exceeded 172,000. Despite the ceasefire, 754 Palestinians have been martyred." To describe what is happening in Gaza as merely a humanitarian tragedy is an understatement. We must see who the crisis in Gaza is protecting and what it is turning a blind eye to, drawing attention to the collapse of the system. Erdogan made striking remarks, stating, "If a system cannot protect innocent babies in incubators from bullets or prevent civilians from being targeted en masse, this is structural decay. Isn't this the most glaring manifestation of a moral crisis? How can we be expected to trust a system that fails the most basic test of humanity yesterday in Syria and Gaza, today in the West Bank and Lebanon?" He said, "The Strait of Hormuz must remain open to commercial ships," referring to the 40-day war in the region and the 15-day ceasefire declared thanks to Pakistan. Erdogan noted, "We must not allow bloody conflict to replace dialogue. The shortest path to peace is constructive dialogue and diplomacy. We must be prepared against Israel's attempts to undermine the negotiation process. While one side of the Strait of Hormuz belongs to Iran, the other belongs to Oman. The Gulf countries' right of access to open seas must not be restricted. The Strait of Hormuz must remain open to commercial vessels." President Erdogan stated that Turkey is ready to support facilitative steps to continue direct negotiations, including a leaders' summit in the Russia-Ukraine war, provided both sides are willing, and emphasized that strengthening peace, stability, and normalization in neighboring Syria is of vital importance for the region's future. Turkey is an inseparable part of Europe, noting that, as one of NATO's leading countries, Turkey will host the Leaders' Summit in Ankara on July 7th to 8th and aims to make significant decisions at the summit. President Erdogan stated, "As history, geography, and geopolitics constantly remind us, Turkey is an inseparable part of Europe. While maintaining our goal of full EU membership, we expect the founding leaders to uphold their vision, noting that peace, stability, and justice are achieved not only through strength but also through solidarity." He said, "The more we strengthen the front of peace and humanity in the face of war, the more confidently we can look toward our future. The real issue is establishing a new foundation for solidarity. Our participation in the ADF is a contribution to this foundation."